Leaf fans, I don't know what to say. I really have no words. We're sitting here again for the fourth consecutive win or go home game. Win and move on or go home. Game 7 sort of feel. Fourth year in a row. Fifth year in a row in the first round. If you want to go even farther back, 6 years in the 6 of their last 10 years. First round exits. And the story continues. The Leafs cannot win in the first round. I'll come up now. I'll come up to you guys now and we can talk about this fiasco. Let me just readjust you guys here. There you go. We're getting it live on the fly because I don't know what else to say. There might be a lot of long pauses in this video, Leaf fans and Lightning fans. Before we go any further, though, I want to say congrats to the Lightning, as much as this pains me to say for another year. Locked down tight defensively there late in the game, when you need it to be. Vasilevsky, we all knew the numbers in Game 7s. We all knew the numbers in closeout games. We all knew the numbers from this series. And I said it before the game with my buddy that I was watching the game with. I'm like, we have not seen one of those games by Vasilevsky where he has taken over and just been a brick wall. And it scares me. We saw one of those games tonight. It was incredible. And Leaf fans, just another story to add to the history books of the Leafs losing in the first round, some sort of weird things happening. You'd think in a 2-1 loss, Steven Stamkos might have scored. Nikita Kucherov might have scored. Braden Point, even though he left the game earlier and hopefully he's okay. Andre Palat, could have used some other names, right? Hagel could have scored, right? You could have got all kinds of other. Victor Hedman could have scored, right? You could have had all these guys coming in and contributing. Anthony Cirelli could have scored. Great talent there. Nick Paul, coming into this round, had never been in the playoffs. It was Ottawa his entire career, so had never been in the playoffs. Going into Game 7, had never scored a goal in the NHL playoffs in the first 6 games. But in Leafs fashion, Nick Paul scores both goals. The second one was really nice. And you lose 2-1. I can sit here and I can yell and I can complain and I can do this. I'm tired of doing that. I've done it enough. We can talk about Justin Hall setting a pick for John Tavares, an inadvertent pick where, initially I thought it was garbage and soft. Then I look at the replay and I'm like, what the hell was he? I don't know what he was thinking. And of course it leads to a Tavares goal to get everybody hyped up and ready to go. And we're tied 1-1. Oh, it's great. And then, no, we're going to take the goal away and you're getting a penalty. And it hurt. And the first goal by Nick Paul, again, this game is about inches, right? It just is. He fires the puck on, gets tipped by Morgan Riley. Jack Campbell has a reactionary save, and, he had to. And he kicks it right out. You know whose stick it goes right onto? Nick Paul. And he buries it. But Morgan Riley, in the second period off a beautiful passing play from Matthews and Marner, roofs it on Vasilevsky, and we're tied at 1. Oh, great. A few minutes to go in the second period, Nick Paul comes down, and Brody knocks the puck off his stick, but then Nick Paul has the wherewithal to kick the puck to his stick, and with a quick little hesitation, beats Jack Campbell. Beautiful move, but not from a guy you'd expect. And the question I have for you Leaf fans is this. Every year, we talk about, oh, well, this didn't go right, or this didn't go right, or this guy got hurt, or this call was bad, whatever the case may be, right? Because last year, Tavares got hurt in game 1, I believe it was, in the Montreal series, right? And then Jake Muzzin got hurt later on in the series, and then Matthews and Marner weren't going at all in that series. And it was just like, oh, man, you came that close. What's the narrative this year? Well, you ran into the Stanley Cup, 2 times. I don't give a damn that they've won back-to-back Stanley Cups. If this league team has any sort of Stanley Cup aspirations, you got to beat those teams. You have to beat the tough teams to get Lord Stanley. And yet again, same narrative. First round exit. Game 7 chokes. They're at what, 0-9 or 0-10 now in series clinching games since 04? It's getting sad. I mean, what am I saying? It's been sad for so long. But every time, right? 82 game schedule, you play great, you get home ice this time. This year's going to be different. You see game 1, you win 5-0, and you're like, well, the Leafs are here to stay. Oh, they're making an imprint on this, blah, blah, whatever the case may be. You get smoked in game 2. Game 3 in Tampa, you win a tight game. Wow, woo, yeah, that's fantastic. Then you get your absolutely teeth kicked in game 4. Come back home for game 5, and what a crazy game that was, and you win it 4-3. Crazy stuff there. You go to Tampa for game 6, and that's where they lost the series, in my opinion. And if you go back to that video that I posted probably a few days ago for game 6, I was yelling about the officials, and I still believe that is, a very big reason of why this Leaf team lost game 6. But you can also attribute the fact to them not having their legs early. They were not going at all. And Kerfoot was with a blind, no-look pass behind him to nobody. But Andre Palat picks it up and scores because of a horrendous turnover. And the second goal of the game was a shorty. That shouldn't be happening. Then you get the lead and the penalties happen. That was your game to win. And I can speak for most Leaf fans when I say, when we lost that game, I all had that feeling this game was going to go this way. And I was waiting for some sort of narrative, right? Being a Leaf fan, you think of all the negative narratives that can come out of a game like this. Well, Nick Paul being the guy scoring both goals, there's your narrative. But the question I have for you guys, and I'm going to wrap it up with this because I don't want to talk about this anymore. The season's over. I'm done. At least the Jays won, so I can watch something positive today at least. Where do you go from here? If we're talking about on-ice product, Jack Campbell was great. The decor looked just fine. That Brody looked great. Muzzin looked rejuvenated, looked good in the series. Giordano was phenomenal, better than a lot of people expected, including myself. Justin Hall, as much as I don't think he played great today, overall had a decent series. Lyubushkin played great. Riley had a great series. There's your decor, and I thought they looked pretty good. Offensively, what was the narrative last year? Matthews and Marner didn't get going. Well, they were good in the series. Both guys were really good in the series, right? John Tavares didn't even play in that Montreal series. Kind of had a slow start to this series, but the last few games really got going. And you still lose in game 7. What next? Is firing Dubas or is firing Sheldon Keefe? Is that the narrative change? Is it time to ship off of one of the big 3? I mean, do you really want to ship off Nylander with the point production he gives you, and for the cap hit that he's at? Well, that's the case, and you don't want to do that. Do you move Marner or Matthews? Well, of course not. So then we're back to square one again. John Tavares is an untradeable contract. He got no trade clause. He's making a stupid amount of money for a stupid amount of years. So what do? I have no clue. I honestly have no idea. And like I said, Tampa, congrats on moving on to round 2. You guys are incredible. Teach us how to win, please. Please, for God's sakes, teach us how to win. And round 2 is going to be a hell of a round for you guys. Obviously playing the Florida Panthers, the battle of Florida. That's going to be a wild one. But as for the Leafs, guys, I don't know what else to say. Same nonsense. Different year. Same aspirations. different sort of events that occur. But in the end, it's the same result. And next year, we got to go through 82 more just to talk about another, you need to get through the first round. I don't know how I'm going to do 82 videos next year. I just don't know. All right. So, you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and, I don't know, enjoy the ride with me, hey, smack the like button because show me some love at least because I think we need some of that. Hit the subscribe button, you guys not already. If you're a Jays fan or a Raptors fan and want to see content from them when they're playing, I'll be on the channel doing that stuff. And comment down below, guys, your thoughts. Give me your heart. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know what else to say. I usually have some sort of question for you to answer, but I got nothing. All right. And Twitter's down below. Follow up, send me a DM, guys. Do all that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below. So follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition very shortly as they won 5-1 over the Rays today. Ryu was good. The offense was great. Danny Jansen got a home run today. Good to see him back. Just a positive vibe around the Jays and much needed after tonight's debacle. Well, I won't even say debacle. They played a pretty solid game, but another game 7 loss for the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching and all the support you've given the channel all season long. It really does mean a lot, even when we're talking about this at the end of it every season. I do appreciate you guys, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this season overall, but not this video because it's not fun to talk like this. All right, so we'll talk to you guys, I don't know, down the road, I guess.